Those cops they put on him were suspiciously perfect for blocking him. He couldn't bring his fingers together, so he wasn't able to activate his life force. It was almost like they were made specifically for him. Meanwhile, the Predator is still wondering how he moved that way and what that power was. She then says again she'll give him another chance to say where the base is. For a moment, Blue thought that if he just gave that info, everything would be easier. But now he already knew what people's faces looked like when they were sad or when they were happy. He couldn't go back to when he didn't understand those things. That's when the Predator grabs a pair of pliers and asks about the regeneration of his fingernails. Haru screams, calling out to him. But sometime later, the Predator says she's leaving and she'll see him tomorrow. Haru asks if he can still even think straight. But Blue is just hearing his dad's voice in his head, saying he's an idiot who was warned. The more he trusted and got close to humans, the more he get hurt. Our boy starts remembering the first times he saw Haru and begins to tell himself that maybe if he'd never met her, none of this would have happened. Right at that moment, the Predator comes in again, saying it's time to start the day. Yesterday, it was the fingernails. So today, it'll be the toenails. But that's when she gets startled seeing Haru saying this time it should be her. They both turn and Haru says she can't bear to see him in pain anymore. Confused, the Predator asks if she really liked the boy that much. Haru just lowers her head and the Predator comes closer, saying she was tired of Blue's reactions too. Harem closes her eyes, apologizes and says yes, it was her fault. She offers her foot and tells her to just get it over with. But when the pliers are about to grab the nail, Lujin appears and says they'll cooperate. The Predator and Blue turn asking what he's thinking and where he's been. But he just says he'll tell them where the base is. Blue's shock man and the damn woman celebrates, saying he finally changed his mind. Our boy yells asking if he's gone insane. Why would he betray everyone like that from the base? But man, Lujin just gives him a headbutt to the neck and says he's not useful anymore. He thought the boy had some sort of insight into the truth about the monsters, but he was just disappointed. Even with the power like that, he barely used it. He really was incompetent and pathetic, so that's it. He was going to betray them. Blue tries to say something, but Lujin just covers his mouth and says they have nothing left to talk about. Sometime later on a balcony of one of the buildings, the Predator asks what made him change his mind. Lujin says that now it's more logical to cooperate with her. The one who compliments him, saying at least he held out longer than the girl, obviously referring to the damn Ji-yoon, who apparently agreed to cooperate the moment she was seen. The only problem is that she doesn't remember where that damn base is. All twisted up, Ji-yoon apologizes, saying she never really looked at the map. She just followed everyone else. Lujin, though, tells the Predator to get ready because they also had fighters at that base. It would be better to bring everyone and wipe that place out than take it for themselves. The Predator says he really doesn't have a heart, and with that their group begins to move forward. On the way, someone asks the Predator where they're going and why they're bringing those two along. With so many people around, it was only increasing the risk of the monster spotting them. But she says that's what makes it more fun. She wants to see the look of despair on their faces when they see her own base being invaded and destroyed. It's just a shame the boy isn't saying anything anymore. He looks like he's broken. Haru, next to him, says she knows he doesn't want to talk to her. Since it's her fault they got caught and are being forced to go through all this, they keep walking and Blue doesn't say a word. She glances at him, lowers her head, and once again apologizes. But suddenly, Blue stops and turns toward her. She's a bit confused and out of nowhere. He sticks out his tongue. Haru doesn't understand anything, and Ji-yoon up front asks if she brought everyone like he told her to. The Predator says yes, obviously, and they all came. Only a few people stayed back at the base to guard the cattle. Suddenly, he says that everything is really going according to plan and stops. The Predator is on alert and the people in the group start wondering why he stopped out of nowhere. The place was completely isolated. He says that yes, right there in the middle of this area, there were no buildings to hide in. They were surrounded by the city and have only one way out. It would be extremely dangerous if they were attacked by monsters there. The predator gets closer and asks what he means by that. Then Gu Jin shows the same hand signals. First, the one for move forward and keep hiding. He didn't show the attack signal, but he showed the one for retreat and says that means it's better to get away and avoid a fight. And of course, there was one last signal. When he touched his chin, it meant he was lying. And that's exactly what he did when he told our boy he was going to betray him. The predator tells him to stay put while Blue sticks out his tongue again at Haru. At that moment, when Gu Jin silenced him earlier, he also gave him the key. Now he gives the attack signal saying that it means it can't be avoided and the only solution is fight. Before the predator could understand, Haru then already unlocked Blue's cuffs, and now he was free. One of the guys shouts that the boy is loose, and the first fool turns around telling the boss not to worry. The predator tries to heal Warning, but too late, his head had already been crushed. Everyone's jaws drop as the guy gets sent spinning like a top. He gets launched far away, scraping his face across the pavement in front of everyone. The rest of the group realized he had died in one attack. While the predator puts her hand to her face, she says that guy was really an idiot. From a distance, someone else sees the same signal Blue Jin gave. Man, it's the stumped guy on the mountain. How did this dude even get up there with no legs? And right then, it seems like a signal for something. And explosions go off at the start and end of the bridge. A bunch of works nearby, it lights up. The whole area engulfed in flames. Immediately, the predator turns to Blue Jin, saying this was his doing. And obviously, since it's fire, monsters start coming in from all sides. Worse, the escape route had collapsed. The predator puts her hand on her head and starts scratching her hair, saying they have no choice. Someone would have to act as the eye, or the rest take care of those two. That she looks to the side, sees Haru, and already knows exactly how she's going to stop them again. She decides that she'll either kill the girl right there or make her hostage again, and she already aims for the heart. But this time, Haru woke up, she dodged. The predator is stunned, but Haru ducks, evades one attack, evades another. While remembering the moment she got captured and telling herself she wasn't going to let her guard down again. Thinking about how much Blue had suffered, she couldn't let her fear get in the way of the team anymore. This time, instead of rain from fear, she was going to use fear to her advantage. The predator tries to capture her, but doesn't understand. Since when had this girl gotten so fast? If she had known this brat was like this, she would have cut all of her tendons. Right then, she's about to grab her. But now, man, it's Blue who's in front of her. And man, she saw the beast, right? She stumbled back, totally clumsy, and fell flat on her back like an idiot. Blue starts walking toward her slowly, and one poor fool tries to sneak in for a stab from the side. Just takes a punch without even being looked at. Another one comes. It smacks so hard, not even the artist managed to draw what happened. He keeps getting closer little by little, while the predator can't even breathe. Then Haru says they need to finish this quickly. After all, there were monsters all around, right man? That sea of fire around them was attracting creatures from the whole city. That's why he had to end this fast. He just nods and gives a big-footed kick to the face of the fool, leaving her whole face smashed in. Then the two celebrate, and she falls backward, all twisted. While the group comes over, shouting warnings about the monsters eating people. The group starts fleeing in another direction, and there are tons of creatures coming up from behind her. She shops to bring the eye guy while our boy and Haru are running in Gujin's direction. Gujin calls out to our boy, who shows up and punches him right in the cheek. Haru, confused, asks why he did that, but he just tells Gujin that he's sure. He was the one who told them about the life force. They had no idea he knew how to do something like that. Gujin says yes, and he was also the one who told them to bind his fingers. Blue asked why. Because of that, they were tortured for all those days. Gujin replies that he made that choice based on his behavior. He simply shows what seemed to be the most effective strategy. At that moment, Blue remembers what Gujin said when he